This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
Well, hello. Am I on? I know I'm live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Late Night. Thanks to all of you for coming on in, joining myself, Krista, Brandi, and Monica. I don't know where Tex is at. Probably sleeping. You know, he's only on 5 times a day lately. Probably catching up on some sleep. Anyways, thanks for all coming on in. Hey, got to thank you guys. I hit my 5,000 subs yesterday throughout the day. Did a great show. I did an impromptu live show. Thank you for watching that. That was cool of you guys. And then we gave away stuff on the Blondes and the Booze last night. So a lot of you want some cool merchandise. So yeah, I'm waiting on a few more email addresses to send some stuff out. So thanks for that. It was a nice day. It was a great day. So thank you to everybody for coming on. And don't forget the super chat's open. A great way to support what we do around here. You can become a BMR pirate. Join today. Join the many. Join the few. Depending on your point of view. You get a picture of me with my bandana next to a picture of me with a bandana next to your name in the chat room. How about that? And yes, I'll probably do some special shows just for you guys whenever I can work that into the schedule, the ever-growing schedule. Don't forget to subscribe to the Blondes and Booze Paranormal podcast on YouTube. Monica Rollins, our Paranormal World, of course, Texas Front Porch. Donnie Cho says stuff. Paranormal Paul. Daniel Diva, and I think I probably forgot somebody else. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. I should know it by now. Really quickly, thanks to everybody who bought my books. Bigfoot, Michigan Represents True Cryptid Encounters books 1 and 2, found on Amazon. Type Bigfoot, Michigan Rob in your Amazon browser. Leave a review. Please subscribe. Listen to us on Spreaker, wherever podcasts are found. Yes, turn on your alert bells because I don't put out the schedules. Just hit the alert bell and you'll catch your favorite peeps in action pretty much 7 days a week. So thanks for that. I'm going to bring up the lovely ladies.
Hey.
Hello, Krista. How are ya?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm here. Chat room's filling up. And yeah, we'll get on. We'll bring up the other lovely Brandi. Hi, Brandi.
Hi, everybody.
How's it going with you? You doing good? Yeah.
Oh, it's going good. It's going good. A little chilly, but I'm good.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a minute, as we always talk about weird stuff outside of weird stuff. The other lovely, the third lovely, of course, Monica. How's it going?
Good. It's the weekend, so it can't be all bad, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. When the weekend rolls around, it can't be all bad.
It's a good thing.
I see Texas rummaging around the background. I know he's not quite ready yet, but we'll pull him up in a minute. So, I guess I got to do this right quick before we get started. We're advertising this this conference, as y'all saw with the cool opening video that Tex put together. Crossing Realms Conference, UFOs, Paranormal, Cryptids. That's right, everybody. September 19th and 20th at the Eagleton Civic Center in Richmond, Missouri. Check that out. I don't have, I have this one and this one, but they're so damn hard to read. I think Jason's making one for YouTube, but we've added
so many people.
Yeah, we've also had Brian Bowden's on this guy. Yeah, so many. Brian Bowden's on this, as well as Miguel from Sasquatch Theory. They'll have a role as speakers. You got Josh Hurd, Heather Mosier, Frankie and Dan from the Haunted Garage. You're bringing a haunted car. Tex is the master of ceremonies. filmmaker Greg Ogles, William Lunsford, TV personality, is Falk Monster Hunter, Ronald Murphy, researcher, Lady Ann Celine, Dr. Dean Bertram, Ken Gerhardt, special guest by Ken Gerhardt, Dana Stricker, Brent Thomas, who I see has popped up in the background. Hi, Brent. And I know there's two other ones. Krista, if you want to fill everybody in also on the other featured guests that we have, if you remember them.
We have, we have David Glidden. He's a friend of Brandi and I. He does paranormal documentaries. And then we also have Linda Eastburn.
So a fantastic line.
I think you said all the rest of them. Heck, I don't know.
Yeah, I did.
What about Mike Familiant?
That's another one. See, here's the thing that this is just for Facebook stuff. See, I can't read that. I mean, if I could probably put on my cheaters, it's kind of blurry. I don't know about you guys. Can you guys read that?
I can.
No.
I can.
I have to put my glasses on. I can't.
Yeah, But we did cover them all. And here's another one we got of all of us with the special guests and all the hosts.
Mike Familian, actually, he's our guest for Thursday night for Brandi and I on Blonde.
Cool. Okay. Isn't Chris Garitano coming too?
Yep, Chris Garitano. He'll be there.
That's another one. I mean, I'm glad that we decided to cut that off, you guys. I mean, come on. Half of the population is be guest speakers or special guests. And speaking of a special guest, from the Paranormal Portal, making sure he's ready, Mr. Thomas. Hey, Brent, good to see you again, pal.
You caught him
midstream eating some French fries.
You caught me in my Cheeto time, but Rob.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting me in. I appreciate it. How's everybody tonight?
Good. How are you?
Great.
I'm wonderful. Thank you very much. Tex and I just got done over on the portal, so Tex is like, I'm surprised I beat Tex over here. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, he's there, but until he shows his face, I'm not pulling him up yet because he's probably he knows how to get on. And when I see his face, I'll pull him up. But he can also do that himself. So I do want to thank everybody for coming on in. And I don't know about you guys, but I woke up this morning with about 6 inches of snow. It totally threw off my game plan this morning.
That was me on Thursday.
It's been me all week for over a week now.
Thursday and Friday.
Everything looks pretty good here, except of course my roads, the back roads and everything. There's probably about a half inch of ice.
Yeah, we're still.
It's still too cold for it to go away, and of course we live too far out for them to do anything about it.
Well, I'm in the north tip of Idaho, and I got grass.
How is that even possible?
How the heck is that?
Right?
I don't know. I like this winter, though. This is my favorite winter yet. So
February hasn't hit. That's when we get all of our ice down here.
I've got
which is how the hell are we gonna? We got to get this trip scheduled because
I know. Well, it's going to be warm. Well, I'm not going to be in town this upcoming weekend, but it's going to be warm for the next few weeks, I think. Warm.
Well, I heard that we had another round of snow and cold weather coming in this weekend, but I looked at the forecast; it's not there, so I don't know.
Well, hell, I hope I drive to New Orleans in that. Which, by the way, anybody who's in the area, you can come and hang out with me in New Orleans.
Yeah.
The 17th through the 20th.
Awesome.
Woo. That sounds like fun, though.
It does.
Yeah, it does. And Monica picked the time when the Detroit Lions, who've been terrible for 40 years, but they're in the playoffs that week.
What do you mean I picked the time? Maybe I was like the good luck that sent them there.
Yeah.
You think about it that way?
Well, now that you phrase it that way, I certainly give you all the credit.
Well, she was like, I don't want Rob coming to New Orleans, so let's just make the Lions do good, okay? Let's make the Lions do good.
Yeah.
I saw it more as, I wanted to hang out with Rob. Of course the Lions did well this time.
Of course they did.
So, Monica, are you doing any like haunted tours or haunted things down there?
I do my own ghost tour while I'm there. It's my, I do it through the French Quarter. We hit all the places that are popular and maybe a couple that aren't as well known. but I'll do a self-guided cemetery tour.
Cool.
I want to do St. Louis Cemetery. I wanted to do number 1, but I don't know about that. I mean, there's one that's smack in the middle of the Garden District, and that's where the Airbnb I rented for all of us is. So I'll try to get in there. When I was there last time, a couple years ago, it was closed for maintenance. So hopefully it'll be open this time.
Wow. Very cool.
Is a cemetery being closed for maintenance the same as we're digging a grave? Sorry.
Well, they can't dig them there. No, I think
they
that
don't
some of the
dig 'em there,
tombs were falling apart. It's in the middle of the Garden District, so I would be shocked if it was vandalized. It's not that big. But whatever maintenance in a 200-year-old cemetery looks like is.
Well, not to mention, it's been flooded.
Yeah, those mausoleums are going to break down. Yeah, those mausoleums will break down eventually.
I mean, mortar does. After a while, you have to maintain your brick and your plaster.
Although I kind of want to be put in a mausoleum because that way I at least have a way to get out.
100%. I want an above ground, and I don't want one like you see in New Orleans. I want like a house that my extended family can be stuffed into. I want, if I'm going to have a mausoleum, I want a mausoleum.
Yeah.
You want a manchuleum or
a manchuleum. There you go.
All these drawers filled full of family members. Zombie apocalypse hit. You all rise up and the family of Monica's taking over the world.
Do you remember Return of the Living Dead Part 2, where they're grave robbing in the mausoleum?
Yeah,
I want that kind of mausoleum.
Yeah,
I never seen Part 2.
It's my favorite. I love it.
Rob,
better than the original black and white.
No, this has nothing to do with that.
Night of the Living Dead was black and white.
That's Night of the Living Dead. This is Return of the Living Dead.
So it's not a sequel.
And the first one is great. I saw Part 2 before I saw Part 1, so I'm partial to Part 2.
You got Part 3 coming out.
Mm.
There's actually 2 of them. Yeah, me and Breezy were talking about this. There's actually 2 of them coming out, and one of them is it takes place 18 hours after the incident
of number 1.
Of number 1,
where they nuke it. Okay.
Yeah. So, but the other one is called Trash's Revenge, and it goes from a different angle. It actually takes from the actress herself. And then she's on the film set and all this kind of stuff or whatever, but something happens. And that's about all I got. But
is it in production or is it in pre-production?
Yes, this year.
Okay, that's interesting.
This year.
Did you guys ever watch the TV show Grimm? And if you're into folklore and mythology, you've got to watch Grimm. It was on NBC.
I've watched quite a bit of it. Yeah.
I watched it from the beginning to the end. This is many years ago, but if you haven't seen it and if you have the Peacock app, I recommend you go find Grimm and watch it from start to end because it goes through all kinds of folklore and mythology and it's a fun watch. But for those of us that had watched it and were very big fans of it, I saw today that Peacock is making a feature-length movie based on the TV show and it's going to bring the actors back.
Yay!
Right.
I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm happy about it.
I don't know when it's going to come out, but I just saw that when I was getting my nails done today because they have all those TV screens up there, and one of them was on entertainment news, and I was like, no, what? I didn't want to spaz out too much, and the nail salon over.
I'm surprised you didn't come home from the salon and start texting all of us going, hey, guess what?
It was a long salon trip. I got my nails done, which I always do, but I did something new and I got my eyelashes lifted. And if you don't know what that is, they basically perm your lashes because my lashes were out straight and they permanently flip up like you've got mascara on all the time. Mm-hmm. That was an experience.
I must tell you, I will say this, I am familiar only because my niece just opened up her own business, her own salon, not even a year yet. And she's into all that. She does the eyebrows, the waxings, face peels. She studied all this. So
she's like an
yeah,
esthetician.
My
she is an
oldest
esthetician.
daughter
Yes.
got her
right.
eyebrows tattooed. You know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She got to go in like every year and a half or something and get them something done. But yeah, she's had them tattooed now for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Let me just
I
say
don't know
that
what's up with that because my tattoos last a hell of a lot longer than a year and a half.
your skin is oily up there, so the ink doesn't last as long. Just like that's why you can't really do the palm of your hand. Your cells turn over fast.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I can handle all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I love my chapstick. I mean, I'd still be using my chapstick, so it would be no
Right.
no big thing to go in and get your lips done. I'll still be doing it anyway. I'd be just wasting my money.
Well, chapstick is they're great at their marketing, and they're great at the ingredients they put in the chapstick because, yes, this is a fact because I experimented with this. Chapstick further dries out your lips to make you buy more chapstick, and there's a product in there that draws you to just continue to buy it. Yes, it works for about 10, 15. It's very addictive.
I use Burt's Bees.
I
like the tingly with the mint or whatever it is they put in the Burt's Bees.
That's nice.
But
nice. Okay, we'll get off the makeup anyway.
That's actually above my pay grade, but yeah, I got something to talk to you guys about really quick before we get into our bizarre news. There's, a new little segment. But, so you guys all know that I have these bizarre dreams. Now, thankfully, knock on wood, I haven't had any quite a long time. But yesterday was one of those days where I did a show. I just did an impromptu live show because I wanted to hit that 5,000 mark. And then I went on the booze and we did the giveaways, which was awesome. If you weren't there, it was a cool show also. And then I go to bed and I started these weird dreams I started having. Now, they're not the typical ones where I'm always lost. For everyone that don't know, really briefly, when I have these weird dreams, they're very vivid and lifelike where I'm lost. And all my loved ones are trying to get me out of a very familiar area that I know, but I get all of a sudden I don't know where I'm at. And I get these all the time. So this bizarre dream I had last night had to do with YouTube. And so I guess because I was so intent on hitting 5K yesterday that it was just on my mind, I must have been dreaming it. So I had this dream all night long that's about YouTube and my channel. Gosh, of all the things to dream about. But then during the dream, I get up, I go look in my studio in the dream, and all of my videos, they all had 666 views, 666 views. Yeah, it didn't matter whether I did it last week, last year, everyone at 666 for the view. That freaked me out. And I woke up to the beautiful snow falling, right? And typically my routine is put on a pot of coffee, then I'll go on the computer and go check email, check YouTube. But I didn't because you guys know I woke up today. I didn't want to go on YouTube for some reason because of these bizarre 666 views, right? So I don't know what time it is. It's 10:30 in the morning or something. I said, well, I'm going to go out and shovel my driveway and go up to the store. So I'm driving to the store and Krista calls me. I'm like, hey, she goes, hey, what's up? She wanted to tell me, blah, blah, blah. What are you doing? I'm trudging through the snow, this, that, and the other. Then she asked me something about YouTube. And I said, I haven't been on it today. And typically at this time I'm on it. I just didn't go on it. She goes, okay, well, check it out when you get home or whatever. So anyway, I get home. So I get on YouTube. And then I start going into my the studio and checking out views. No, not every video like in the dream had 666 views. But I was looking in 4 or 5 videos, you guys all had 666 views. I found that to be crazy bizarre. And I got, whoa, like that. And I exited out of it. I'm like, that can't be. That's just, we always talk about we don't believe in coincidences. I had a dream. There was like 5 of them. And again, they were random from last year, this year, last week, 666. So I wait about an hour and I go back on and look at the same videos that I remember were 666. And they're all like 702 now, 698, 719. They all change. And you guys, there's no way in the heck, you guys know this, there's no way in heck an old video spikes up 20 views in 2 hours. Usually after 3 weeks, that's all the run they get. Then you might get 2 or 3 a month, right? Views. I just thought that was the most bizarre thing.
Yeah.
Bizarre, man.
Yeah.
So anyway, and so I was kind of freaked out most of that. And this is the next, and I haven't gone on YouTube until just half hour ago. Well, I saw Paul's show and stuff, but I was like, I stayed away.
Mm-hmm.
At an abundance of caution.
Yeah, well, it might make you feel better, Rob, that some ancient sources that are apparently just as old as all of the other references to the number of the beast reference it as 616. So there is disparity in that. Most people regard the whole 666 thing as possibly some sort of coded reference to Nero, and that he was the beast, and there's some methodology behind them coming to that conclusion, which I can't speak to, but I think maybe it was something symbolic and maybe not as nefarious. I don't know, but it's creepy. I'll give you that.
No, I don't think it was nefarious. I just thought it was creepy as all get out.
Yeah.
So I was just like, ugh, wow, great. Because a lot of my dreams I have are very realistic and very, very realistic. Almost like I don't think I'm dreaming half the time. But again, like I said, I haven't had one since the dream with playing against a ghost in Vegas, when my brother and sister-in-law were in Vegas and the bartender said, we saw your brother here. I mean, you guys all heard that.
That's weird. I remember that. That is weird.
Yeah.
Can't explain that one.
Cannot explain that one. Because they actually called me. Remember I told you guys that night? Hey, Rob, I know you're not in Vegas. Some guy said he saw you here. I go, well, I'm not. And then I went and tell him about the story, right? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm not telling that tonight. It was very creepy, though. I'll do it, in a couple months when people forget about it. But yeah, that's how my dreams are, though. Very realistic, very bizarre. Very bizarre. And speaking of bizarre, we're going to do a little bizarre news. And I got about 3 little snippets that we can kind of discuss. One of them, the first one is like, take it or leave it type thing. Then I got 2 cool ones.
You better not steal the one I'm going to do on my show. I'm just saying.
Well, you know what? If I did, I beat you to it. I doubt it. There's a million out there. So let me just,
a tough.
You gotta. Now that would be. I'll tell you what. That would not be a coincidence either. We'll have to wait and see this now. Now I'm getting that vibe. I bet you I stole one. Well, technically didn't steal it because I don't know what you've done.
No, you stole it straight up. That's it.
Straight up stole it.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Tex. We'll see, Mr. Tex.
Well, Tex, you do so many shows, so it's like you have one at a time.
Right.
Oh, don't come to his defense. Come on now.
Well, everybody comes to my defense, Tex. But anyways, thanks to Mr. Brent that finally dubbed some music in for me for the bizarre news. So thank you, Brent, for this. We're going to see how this plays out here. Here we go. Da-da-da-da, drum roll. I like that. It's short to the point. He made it work. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, my pleasure, man.
So starting out, I don't know what happened here. Okay. And I got to go into something else right quick. So anyway, to start this off with this little bizarre news I picked up. And that's not the right one. Hang on a second. Okay.
I would have already been in mine. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, tough. I almost said it.
I stopped myself. You can stop yourself.
Yeah, that's true. So anyway, this is a viral conspiracy theory. Okay, it's been going on, dated January 7th, actually. Now, you guys, this one here, this is one of those where I don't really buy into this. So this will be the short. I guarantee our discussion won't even be 5 minutes. However, I thought it was kind of newsworthy. At least it had my attention. So it goes on to say that FogVid 24 is a new conspiracy theory doing the rounds online, and it's a doozy, as they say. Okay. People are claiming that the thick fog engulfing parts of the United States these days is a man-made chemical. Okay, a man-made chemical weapon, of all things. In the first days of 2025, it says here, the large parts of the United States were blanketed by a mysterious fog that made some people experience strange smells, breathing problems, and unexplained fatigue. Viral videos of people shining their flashlight into the fog at night to show unusually large particles. They've been shared on most social media platforms like X and TikTok, sparking fears that this was no ordinary fog, but a chemical-filled biological weapon. Some conspiracy theorists have linked the fog to the mysterious drone sightings of all things, right, around the country, while others are reported a high number of chemtrails in the sky just before the fog sets in. So that's that one. I don't know, you guys.
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, oh, that's nice, because they were just talking on the news today how we're supposed to have freezing fog.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's just awesome. That's just awesome. Does
it glow?
Great, Rob. Thanks.
You're welcome, Brandy.
Right.
Anything I can do to help?
Giving me nightmares. Yeah, giving me nightmares. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Very welcome.
That is bizarre, though.
Yes.
There's so many conspiracy theories out there, and it's like anytime any two events happen, they gotta be related. You know, it's like
right.
It's flu season. This is when it happens every year, and there wasn't even fog the other years, but there's still flu season. So, thinking maybe there isn't a relationship here.
Yeah. Although I did watch one of the YouTube channels that I do follow. They were in New Jersey, and while one of the drones was flying over, it was like leaking some sort of fluid. So what is that? You know, that was kind of weird. So who knows?
My quick take is I didn't even hear about this until I read this. I didn't even know it was going viral. I'm not really on the social media. So, Tex, did you hear anything about that? What's your take?
Same take it was when I did my show about it the other day.
You did one on fog?
Oh, thanks.
You did one on fog? Oh my God. Well, yeah, Tex has done 5 shows in the last 16 hours.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He's like 20 shows ahead of the rest of us, so he's done all the topics. And we're we're sorry, everyone. We're redoing the topics because Tex is a little,
Yeah.
Tex went full Mike Tyson on us there, didn't he?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Seriously. I kind of mentioned it the other day on something, and I don't know. I can find a logical reason for everything that they're talking about. I think Krista was on the show with me when we were talking about it, because I remember her talking about the whole Jersey thing. And it's like, okay, because there's like globular stuff going up in the swimming pool and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, what if this is just regular fog, but here comes the pollution along with it, because fog is nothing but a cloud that's low to the ground, right? Yeah. If it's got particles of pollution in it and stuff, wouldn't that make it oily? Wouldn't that make it, if it drops in the pool. I don't know. You know,
the one thing too I read, it also has particles of ice crystals in it. There was a scientific explanation, but I edited all that. I wasn't reading the whole damn thing. But yeah, there is. Fog could also be associated with, especially where I live, with all the factories. You see but it's not fog, it's what they call, well, it's not
like
smog. Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just like when Canada, unfortunately, not like what's going on the West Coast, but when Canada had a similar thing going on last year, and every morning I would get up and smell smoke, and there was layers of smog from the fire in Canada that would seep over the border into to where I live, which was smelling smoke every day for about 2 days. It was crazy. I can't even imagine on the West Coast.
It's almost like driving through Gary, Indiana on any day back in the day.
The smells, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be a stinky town, but it's a steel town. And man, it was just like you'd roll up your windows every time. I used to drive back and forth from Minnesota to Michigan a lot of times over a few years. And Gary was always the low point of that trip.
Yeah. So, Monica, you got a take, or should we move on? I think we kind of banged that one out.
You can move on. My take isn't going to be any different than anyone.
I know. I didn't think it was. That's why I figured I put the the one that I knew we wouldn't really, whatever. But this one here is kind of interesting. And, here, check this out first.
Oh. Did you take a selfie this afternoon?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, So this is going to be based on this little fella.
He looks very happy to be here.
He's got the snout of a mandrill, but he don't have the colors, and he don't have the teeth.
You'd have a nice set of choppers if you whitened up that top layer a little bit. Get him a little
like Bugs Bunnies in there, yeah.
Give him some crust strips.
I was gonna say they're pretty nice.
Yeah, they're pearly. They're pearly.
Bone crushingly good.
Yeah. So, anyways, this is titled "A Monkey Selfie." Yes, that's right, monkey selfie. Judge rules I think this is pronounced macaque, M-A-C-A-Q-U-E. What's that? Macaque. Judge rules a macaque monkey who took a grinning photograph of himself, hence showing the picture early, cannot own the copyright. Okay.
Jeez.
Really?
Yeah. A monkey who took a grinning selfie with a photographer's camera while he wasn't looking has been deemed ineligible to hold copyright over the image.
Did the monkey try to sue the photographer?
Well, it goes further, Monica. It goes further. The instantly recognizable snapshot made headlines around the globe, not only for its obvious quirky appeal, but because it sparked an unusual, Monica, lawsuit.
Of course it did.
Of course. Animal rights activists claim that the Naruto, which was the coin name, I guess, of this macaque, Naruto.
Macaque.
The macaque, or whatever, macaque.
The monkey.
The monkey. Okay, we got the monkey, the 6-year-old monkey who lives free in the Tangkoko Reserve on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi.
He actually said that really good.
Had the right, had this monkey had the right to own and benefit from the copyright. So okay. In the same manner and the same extent as any other author. This guy so goes on. The man, the monkey took the shot and several others in 2011 after British photographer David Slater left his camera unattended. The monkey swiped it and started firing off selfies. Pete, now here comes another one. PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, filed legal proceedings in the U.S. District Court in San Francisco, stating the so-called monkey selfies came from a series of purposeful and voluntary actions by the named Naruto monkey.
She's rough. You know,
okay.
And the monkey was unaided by Slater. They were seeking a court order after allowing PETA to administer all proceeds from the photos for the benefit of the monkey. Obviously, PETA wants to take the coin, right?
That's
so a federal. Now, here, you guys, this is serious. This is supposedly a federal judge has ruled. Here's the verdict. A federal judge has ruled that while the protection of law can be extended to animals if agreed by Congress or the U.S. president, there was no indication that this applies to the Copyright Act as reported. U.S. District Judge William Orrick said Wednesday that the monkey cannot be declared the copyright owner or the photo or receive any royalties, including PETA or indeed Mr. Slater.
Wow. Tag me in. Ooh, tag me in, please. The only thing that the photographer didn't do was have the monkey sign a waiver. Okay, for these images, because the monkey in actuality stole the equipment in the first place. So the equipment, all the digital copies, all of that did not belong to the monkey. So the monkey would have no rights to something it stole. Okay, it just the photographer forgot to sign a waiver. So the only thing he would get in trouble for is showing the monkey's face without its consent. That's it.
Wow, I'm gonna hire you next time I need an attorney.
Right? I'm like, where the hell did this lawyer come from out of Brandi?
Court adjourned.
Yeah,
I think we have another career path for Miss Brando.
Right?
But you hear it all the time. Every time we go anywhere that there's cameras, you have to sign a waiver that it's okay for you to be on camera. Well, that's the photographer's fault for not getting him to sign a waiver after the fact. So,
we know all about
other than that,
we actually have people sign waivers when we do events so we can take their picture. So she knows what she's talking about.
Exactly. Yeah. So, like I said, the only problem is
judge on the case when it was brought before me.
I would have just looked at him like, "Are you serious?
Right?
Are you serious?" I would have said dismissed. I would have just saw it. Just said, go away, people.
Like,
just go away.
Hell out of my poor women, quit wasting my time.
Exactly.
Yes.
What a slimy PETA. What a slimy.
I'm curious if the monkey appeared in court.
Yeah. Was he agitated?
Well, the monkey was he subpoenaed?
Witness.
He doesn't have an address, obviously. They couldn't send him a subpoena or anything, right?
Well, he's barely Sulawesi, Indonesia.
Just go leave his camera out there. He'll come for it.
And this lawsuit, and you guys, if you recall, the selfie was taken in 2011, so this has been long in the works, 13 years.
Not even posthumously, they're trying to win this case for the monkey.
I can't understand why PETA would even get involved in that. Because the lawsuit is between the monkey and the photographer, over the stolen equipment. That's all there is to it. It's a civil suit. Leave it alone.
I agree, and I think we're just gonna close that one out with Brandi. If I had the gavel, I'd be slamming the top of my table here. Court adjourned. I'm not gonna even go around. I'm not even going around the horn on that one.
Done.
I think we got. Now this one really freaks me out because I do not like dolls, nor do I like clowns. And this God,
here we go.
Now this is a little more serious. This is a little more serious. And here we go. And I got pictures, which I cringe to put up. I'll do it after I tell you the story. Mom buys most possessed doll in the UK. Okay. And what ensues is beyond creepy, is the headline. Fills my bones with dread. Published October 20 8th of 2024.
How could you not read that?
Yeah, right. I had to read it. Thank you, Amy. I love you, Amy. Thank you so much for that.
Okay, so I don't have a gavel, but we have the feet.
There you go.
Just stomp.
We're done.
Yep.
A British mother purchased what's been called the most cursed doll in the UK and says she has been haunted ever since, claiming the terrifying toy even speaks to her young child. Yeah. Paranormal. We gotta contact some of us. We gotta reach out to this person. I think they're still with us. Paranormal hunter Candace Collins of Cornwall was warned against purchasing Norman. That's right. It was even named Norman, a demonic baby-faced child's doll that went viral last year when its previous owner, Christian Hawksworth, put it up for sale after experiencing a string of bad luck that was attributed to the toy. Hawksworth bought the doll for $4, and anybody that knows me knows how this creeps me out, because he bought it for $4 at a antique store where BMR has bought many things that ended up being haunted. Again, another story from BMR for later.
Clean them before you bring them in, man.
Yeah. So shortly after he buys this Norman, he suffered an exploding appendix. He got shot, had car trouble, and saw his salary nearly get slashed in half, all within a 3-month period.
Wow.
Poor guy, man.
Yeah, talk about bad luck.
No kidding.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well. Collins, 42, purchased the toy from Hawkinsworth for $260 on eBay. So the guy put it up for sale. He got $260 on eBay. So, made a little profit. Not nearly what he went through. It's not worth all that. But, hey, he got rid of it. Good for him. So he sold it, and I guess the doll went on and continued on. So let's see. So this woman now bought the doll, this Charlemagne, whatever her name was. She goes on to say, as soon as she opened the box, the room went freezing cold and a heavy depression filled the air. Collins told the UK Jam Press. I knew then that there was definitely something attached to this doll. Haunted ever since, claiming the terrifying toy even speaks to her young child. Collins, okay, I already got that. As soon as, okay, I got that. I don't want that. Okay, the demonic doll named Norman has been haunting Collins now for well over a year. Very concerned, she put the doll, and I never heard of this, gals. She put the doll in a glass box of holy water. So she takes the doll, puts it in a glass box of holy water. We get in that later. Norman fills my bones with dread, she admits. She has started having nightmares where she wakes up in a panic, feeling as if she's being attacked by an unseen figure. She says she's felt her hand be bitten during the night and has heard an evil voice calling her name while she sleeps. Even more terrifying, she goes on, she heard her 3-year-old son speaking with the toy, she says. I can hear my little boy talking to someone, the doll. He also starts laughing. They communicate. That kind of reminds me of my niece who was communicating with a spirit. Boy, this all relates to me, man. Similar to the doll's previous owner, Collins said her health is also taking a turn for the worse since welcoming Norman into her home. I've had arthritis, headaches, also random bruises come up on my body for no reason while I sleep. I have a scratch that appears on my back that looks like a deep claw mark. My partner, Nick, needs a hip replacement ever since the purchase, and that his health also has taken a bad turn. It just feels like it's a never-ending battle with bad luck and health concerns. I don't know if it's a result of the demonic doll or not. Despite the eeriness of the doll and the misfortunes that have befallen her, Okay. The Cornwall native says she has no plans to get rid of Norman anytime soon. She says she hopes to work with the doll and exorcise its evil. I really do think, blah, 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 she goes on, yada, yada, that this is a possessed doll, this, that, and the other. And like I said, I got a couple pictures. Not very, I mean, I think it's creepy because I don't like dolls, but here's Norman on the left and on the right, just in a different lighting.
The red light on the right doesn't help.
The red light isn't going out. And look at
It's on his foot.
The back. But you know what?
It's like a possessed fish.
He looks creepy, man. I don't, I just don't dig it. It's not, I don't. And now here's this one that really freaks me out. There's little Norman in the center with a stupid ass clown, the stupid dude with his hat on. Who is that? Handy Andy? I don't know who the hell that is.
That's the clown from Poltergeist.
Yeah.
God, is it?
Yep.
It is. That's a clown from Poltergeist.
Well, she did go on to say that she does collect all sorts of dolls. So I guess, yeah. So not for me.
I can't buy that she didn't know what the hell she was getting into. I mean, come on.
Well, and here's the thing, though.
You guys carry on. I gotta do something for my mouth. Hang on.
Here's my issue. Like the guy had it, he had issues with it, and then it's just going to sell it to somebody to hurt someone else's family or other people. So I don't think that was cool. Kind of like Jason Haxton, who had the Dybbuk box. Like he acquired the Dybbuk box, and that thing, it caused havoc on him and his family. I mean, he lost his hair, all kinds of stuff. He's been on our show a couple times and talked about that. But he, was smart. He didn't try to pawn it off on anybody else because he knew it was bad juju. He didn't want to put that on anybody. So he buried it. I mean, he eventually sold it to Zach Bagans, but that's a whole other story. But, point being is he didn't want to hurt other people. So why would I personally could not do that? I could not have something like that would hurt me and my family. Try to I just couldn't do that. I would bury it myself.
Well, no, I think you're right. Because if you put it, Zach Bagans knew what he was getting into when he bought it.
Different. Right.
He didn't unknowingly buy something that had a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this guy sold it knowing there was an issue. So I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea.
I don't either. And even like the first guy who even sold like the Dybbuk box, I still have issues with that. I don't know. I just feel like, you can't, it's not very ethical. It's not very good just to pawn it off on someone else. And I get other people, they don't know how to deal with it, deal with these things. So maybe they didn't know how to deal with it and then be like, okay, it's someone else's problem now. I can understand that. Where I guess like us, we've been doing this paranormal stuff. So that's nothing we would even consider selling or getting rid of to other people,
Right.
Well, paranormal ethics.
Well, Chris, right. Well, Krista, we had a show about this, about haunted houses, and that we talked about people selling them, and state to state that the laws are different if you have to disclose if it's haunted or not haunted. And I mean, if something was really bad, I don't think that I would sell it. Knowing that it would be, that it would hurt someone else.
Oh, yeah. And didn't even notice the disclosure or anything about the doll. Yeah. I'm sorry, I missed Chris's take. I was going to say, then you guys continue on. I never would have sold it. I wouldn't have bought something knowing it was haunted, right?
I mean, people do that. There is a market for that. People do. There is a great market for haunted items. But
knowing that they know it.
Right, correct. So I don't know. Shame on that guy for selling it. That's all I can say.
Right.
Should have done like I did. I took all my haunted stuff and eventually burnt it all. Or I didn't burn it. I put it at the dump, at the trash, which probably has haunted the hill that it got sent to. I don't know. What do you do? I don't know. I was a young kid back then. I didn't know what to do.
I did a private case, and there was a doll that was haunted there, and we took it, and it's buried about 8 miles away from me in the middle of nowhere.
Isn't that like because I've heard different versions. Maybe y'all can clear this up. As far as haunted stuff, Ouija boards, that type of thing. Because I've heard burn them, I've heard bury them, I've heard, and I've heard don't burn them. What's, what are you supposed to do? I mean, obviously burying them is something that y'all trust.
In my opinion, is the best way to get rid of them. I wouldn't burn them. Heck no.
What's up with all the don't burn them stuff? Is it? Once you destroy it, does it like release everything, or is that what it is? Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, at least if you bury it, you can bind it to a certain area, like that doll. It was buried and it was put in with salt.
Right.
So you can bind them, to the area.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of I think symptomatic of a lot of the ghost hunting craze, if you will. Like people are presented with all these shows and all of these presentations of people ghost hunting, and it looks cool, it looks fun, it looks exciting, and so I think everybody goes and gets a K2 meter, and everybody's got a cell phone, so they do like EVP sessions and stuff, not really knowing what they're doing. But I think the same is true for like haunted items, and it's like, well, I want to have one of those because then now there'll be a ghost here. Cause like it's almost a counterproductive thing. Like people have kind of fallen in love with the idea of researching this stuff and investigating and ghost hunting, and then without really realizing the ramifications of it. Because the shows don't really show that. They just show these people going out and, the chairman, that was cool. And then it's just, wow, And Monica's loved.
Monica has a fan.
Thank you.
Well, he dropped the F-bomb earlier. I had to remove his comment.
Oh, he did. No F-bombs, even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
You filthy animal. Well, there's a lot to that, I would think. I mean, there's just a whole stigma behind dolls and Ouija boards and all kinds of things like that. And I think that the Hollywood has a lot to do with it. I'm just saying that they've made people scared. They've made people scared of these things, and I don't believe everything is all haunted. I mean, I believe a lot of it is. Trust me, but I don't think all of it is. I think that some people blame their misfortune or bad happenings on a certain object, such as I know that when something bad happens to me, I gotta wait because there's 3 coming. It always happens in 3s. It has nothing to do with a doll or an item. It's just I just know it's coming. I just wait for it because you sit there and you brace yourself. You're like, okay, I'm ready. Some of that is just bad misfortune that people are just trying to blame something, bad on something else, which, we've talked about it before, manifesting things. So if I'm sitting and all these bad things are happening to me and I'm saying, this bottle of water did this to me, so I'm actually kind of manifesting this to be a bad bottle of water. So that it becomes a bad bottle of water. And I'm like, hey, Monica, you want a bottle of water? You know what I mean? That it's kind of like the same thing. It's like we can manifest these things too. So, I mean, you can take it or leave it as you want.
That's a lot of, I think personally, a lot, not all of it, but a lot of like witchcraft and spell work is spicy psychology, right? And I've said that all along, is if I go to you and I say, you did me wrong, whatever, and you're cursed. I cursed you. I can mumble some whatever I want, or I'll dangle something in front of you that looks like a talisman or a sigil. And I'm telling you, I'm cursing you, whether I did or not. And the right mindset, if somebody's in the right mindset, or they have the right thinking at the time, or when they're susceptible to suggestion, they're going to attribute every bad thing that happens to them
to that curse.
You get a flat tire. Oh, that Monica said she cursed me. I got a flat tire. And then, every little bad thing that happens, it snowballs.
Correct.
It's your mind's always going to go back to me in your face saying, I'm cursing, whether I did or not.
Right. And then it's like, Monica's a witch. She is a practicing witch. Yeah. Even though you didn't practice anything, you just made a statement.
Yeah.
Right. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. But I think that a lot of it is like that. But with this case, I don't know if multiple owners of this doll are having issues, there might be something to it.
Well, and me and Brent were talking about the whole manifestation thing earlier tonight, and we were talking about like
yet another show that Tex appeared on.
Yeah.
And Rob counters.
So anyway, but we were talking about Black-Eyed Kids and the Slender Man. And is it possible that this is something I brought up, but is it possible that these phenomenon, because what was you talking about, Brent, that the first time that Black-Eyed Kids you found that were brought up, the term Black-Eyed Kids was an experience by an author?
Yeah, Brian Bethel. He was like a reporter, author guy, and he was the one that coined the phrase, but we're pretty sure it's an older phenomena, but he's the one that gave it the name. Brian Bethel is the guy.
And see, my thing is, and I was kind of thinking out loud here, that maybe these phenomenon, like these newer ones that we're talking about, maybe they were experienced by a person, and then when they got out there and they grew in popularity, that they begin to get manifested. And that's where we have the sightings of the Slender Man, more Black-Eyed Kids, and that type of thing. Maybe they've taken on their own life, and we gave it to them.
They're egregores.
Egregores, yeah.
Oh, yes.
But I'd kind of like to hear y'all's take on this. Rob, what do you think?
I think we can manifest just about anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've all done it, whether we think we have or have not, right?
Oh, yeah.
I know that
positive and negative.
Pardon me?
Positive and negative things.
You can. I know that when I set my mind to something that I need to happen, and I don't say this just because it's entertaining or it's because of the shows happening. If I really want something, it doesn't have to be an object. It could be anything. It could just be anything. I gotta tell you guys, I'm pretty accurate with it if I sit down and concentrate on it. I remember years ago, here's not even a paranormal story or anything. I remember when I was going to college, my first 2 years, I went to U of M, and it was pretty tough school, but my first 2 years, I had crappy grades. And it was like, the first 2 years was just kind of like advanced high school. So I was just really bored with, advanced high school. Then the last 2 years I excelled in because it was what I wanted to study, right?
Right.
And so I had like a 2.45, which, by the way, Michigan, you have to have at least a 3 or they get rid of you. So I was at 246, and I'm like, man. So I figured out what I needed to do to get a 3.50 because I wanted to get my master's degree. Another school I wanted to go to, which was U of M, you had to be a minimum of 3.5. So I just sat there and I just manifested in my brain, and I figured out what I had to get a 3.5, and I had to get a 4.0 for 2 years. So I just manifested it every day. I said, Rob, you're going to get straight A's for the next 2 years. And every single day I said that to myself. I put it on my refrigerator. I had a sticky note back in the day hanging from my car. And you guys, when I finally graduated, I was straight A's for 2 years. Yeah, and it was tough. Yeah, and I think I manifested that because I didn't get any smarter.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think a lot of it had to do. I was interested in my now in studying what I wanted because I didn't care about English, math, and the other stuff that we went through for our whole life. Nobody likes to do that.
Yeah.
So, but I think
Boring.
that's one of those examples of me, which isn't weird or paranormal. And I truly believe, this is my belief, if I did not do that every single day, I probably would not have achieved that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you manifested it. You wanted it that bad, you know. I fully believe too, like, you know, what you put out in the universe, you get back.
Oh yeah.
You know, so if you know, try to be a decent human being and put out, you know, positivity and you know, you'll get that back. But it's just the opposite too. If you're a real jerk as a person, you know, well, guess what? That's going to come back to you too.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's what comes around goes around, you know.
And, you know, really briefly on the weird side of it, I've manifested want to come up and find strange things. I tried to manifest astral projecting and I almost achieved that. You guys know that story.
And I don't want nothing to do with that stuff.
And I don't want to do it again.
So
It scared the hell out of me because I did leave my body. You guys heard the story. I saw my body in a chair, walking down, crawling down a thing, and I did not know where I was until I saw myself. I saw me looking back at me, my physical body, and I must have been I was somewhere else, but I was still in my house. Thankfully I did make it into another dimension because who knows what would have happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm sorry, Tex, go ahead.
Kind of stuff. Just ain't gonna happen.
Well, you got to be careful because you know when you're not in your body, you're not in your body,
Right.
and something will come right along and take your place before you come back.
Oh yeah.
She's right. Yeah. Pay attention.
Hawkins.
Yeah, that's, you know, and we all the time we talk about, you know, being vulnerable and being open and invitations and stuff. And kind of talked about this too. But Monica, we've touched on that several times, that it can be an invitation. And well, I talked about it with Krista and Brandi too, that an invitation doesn't have to be a straight up invitation, because there's so many loopholes that these things can use. You know, it can be as simple as a welcome mat with the fae.
Yeah. Don't ever have anything, or even the boards on the front of your house that say welcome.
Yeah.
Those are so popular that you'll never see a welcome anything. Not because I'm such a miser.
That's true, but that's not the
not that I'm the hermit, but I am. But you won't see the welcome signs or like anything that says welcome on my front porch or anywhere around the entrances to my house because of that.
Yep. Me either.
Well, you know, and even what was his name?
It can also be thought, though, right?
Yeah.
You start thinking in a pattern, or you start, you know, going down rabbit holes with things. That you're broadcasting that, right? When you're in a state of mind, whether it's going down an information rabbit hole or just, you know, something gets caught in your head, you're broadcasting that. And if it's the right frequency for the right thing, that's drawing it into you. Yep. So you've got to be very conscientious of how you're thinking. Like, and if you're finding yourself in a foul mood or just, you know, going off on a tangent or something, you got to try to catch yourself.
Yep.
And it's not easy to do all the time. You just you do as well as you can, but be conscientious of your thoughts, because your thoughts draw a lot to you as well. Yep. Good and bad.
Would that be like just, so when you think something really hard on something, maybe not necessarily manifest something, but if you are deeply in thought and you project something out there, is that true? Is that like putting it out into like the universe?
Yeah, it's like
anything and everything can latch on to it.
Think of yourself as like a radio tower. You're broadcasting out with
right. And the same thing too, if you obsess with something, if you get overly obsessed, like, going every weekend to, doing ghost hunts and just overly doing it, that also opens you up,
Yeah.
Well, see, that's why I'm doing so many shows. I'm opening myself up to more subscribers.
You're not kidding.
Yeah. Well, that's the. I'll talk later. So anyways, yeah, that was pretty cool. I think that hang on one quick second. I want to thank everybody for listening to that installment of I gotta be smoother with this and take some I got so much stuff, Tex. Why'd you put all this stuff in here?
What?
I'm just pulling your leg. And that was thank you. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so I just want to get this right here because I'm going to do you a solid. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me just test something here.
Oh boy, that's the other one.
Okay.
Are you deleting the other one?
There you go, Rob.
No, I didn't want that one deleted. I'm working on that.
Get it back.
I know how to delete a text. You gotta, you just gotta know how to read me. I just make that excuse up when I try to find a button.
That's a big look, I'm sure.
Brett Thomas, thank you. It's a great one, Brent. Glad we have you on tonight.
Here all night.
So, I got to tell you guys, thanks for everybody for coming on in. Subscribe if you're new to BMR, Brent Thomas Paranormal Portal, the Blondes and Blues Paranormal Podcast, Monica Rollins, Our Paranormal World. And, Tex Wesson, Texas Front Porch, Donnie Cho, Paranormal Paul, Daniel Diva, to name the other three, I believe. Is there one more? I don't know. We have so many. So, anyways, like, please. That does help the algorithms. So I came up with something because how I told you guys for the late show, I want to start digging into a little more haunted Michigan, whether it be lighthouses, restaurants, hotels. I bought this book sitting in Walmart, not in Walmart, Walgreens, getting a prescription for my mom. There was this rack, and I come across something that said Haunted Detroit.
Ooh.
Very pretty, glossy book, a lot of cool pictures. So yeah, I bought it. And then there was another one that was haunted lighthouses. Didn't have enough cash on me because I purposely always leave my debit card at home. I'm saving a lot more money that way, so I just carry cash. Yeah, so that's all I had enough for was like $20. So I came across the haunted Whitney Hotel restaurant. Okay, now again. Much like when I was married with the wife where we had the haunted antiques, she and I went to and ate at the Whitney restaurant. Now, back in the day, I did not know it was haunted, but I've been in this place. Now, I experienced nothing there, okay? However, I thought it'd be a cool little piece to talk about about for the rest of the evening here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'll show you a picture really quick though, before I get on with it about this place. Blah, blah, blah. Now this is in the city of Detroit. That's the Whitney.
It's beautiful.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful. That's been restored obviously because this was built in the 1800s, you guys.
Boy, that'd be a great place to go.
Yeah, I've been there one time back when I was married. Like I think I was married in the 90s through the early 2000s. And we ate there. They have a beautiful garden. And they also have my favorite place, which is the Ghost Bar. Pretty cool. That's the bar. It's pretty sweet.
That's cool. Sweet lighting.
Yes, that's what I was attracted to. Yeah, I like that. I like the dark bars, but with the hint. I like that blue. I like blue lighting.
It's very ethereal.
Yeah. Very much so. So this is the place. This is the place. So yeah, so I was at this place way back in the day, and blah blah blah. Let me just get out of it. Pull you guys all back up. So yeah, I bought this book. So I kind of I read it. I read the story about this, and I kind of typed out some key notes to provide for you guys, and we can talk about this a little bit because it's very interesting. A lot of history here that I didn't know about until like 2 or 3 days ago. So, it says, like in the beginning of the book, it says something like, whatever you do, don't move the tea set. Don't move the tea set. And there's a reason why I say that. Just listen on. That was a takeaway from a recent tour that was just done at the Whitney in Detroit, which is widely regarded as one of the spookiest spots in the city, and even perhaps in the entire country or United States. The historic home stands regally on the corner of Woodward Avenue and Canfield Street, which I'm very familiar with. It was built in 1894 for David Whitney Jr. and his wife and his children. Mr. Whitney at the time was one of the most wealthiest men, or families, I should say, in the state of Michigan. So this house has been up for sale several times.
The hell is that?
Yeah, what was
What is that?
Somebody,
Your audio cut out.
that was a hissing of some sort.
That
Hold
was
on.
your audio, Rob.
That was you.
No, was it mine?
Yeah.
Great. I got something in here, probably. That's anyway. Let's
Hold
move.
on.
Sweetgrass.
Okay, I gotta run, guys. See ya.
Yeah, peace out. So anyway, boy, that was crazy. What the hell that? It sounded like air let out of a tire to me. I don't know. But anyway.
Oh, yeah. Thought the hydraulic maybe went out of my chair for a minute. I was like,
That's what it sounded like, isn't it? Sort of hydraulics.
That's actually the second time that happened.
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. So anyway, it goes on to saying that this house was changed hand many times because of the tremendous amounts of paranormal activity that took place in the mansion. Okay. And this house was built for, of course, Mr. Whitney and his wife at the time, Flora, the matriarch of the family, in 1882. And it now goes on to say, hang on one second. I screwed up my notes here. Okay, here we go. It said that Flora haunts the Whitney Hotel, which was the first wife of David Whitney. And it says that the woman's third floor restroom is haunted. Now, I did remember that because when I went to the Whitney with my wife, they have that, like, you get your menu and they give you some write-up about the history of the Whitney, and it makes mention of the women's bathroom being haunted. So, of course, what I did, now at the time, I'm really not into the paranormal that much. I knew all about it and watched the movies. So I set my wife in there, Hey, go to the bathroom, see if you can come up with something. She looked at me like, you're nuts, man. I go, well, I know you're going to have to go soon. Just,
Just check it out while you're in there.
Yeah, just check it out, right? So, but a lot of people say that you can hear the sobbing, crying in that bathroom, and some allegedly think that might be Flora, who passed away, her crying in that bathroom. Okay. So I guess the Whitney Hotel was plagued by lots of tragedies up until the 1900s when Mr. Whitney died of a heart attack 6 years after the home was completed. So I guess 1880, whatever, 1890, whatever, 6 years. It was done in 1900. He dies. So does, okay. So when Mr. Whitney, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to remember now. Mr. Whitney's alive. Flora, the mother, passes away, hence the sobbing in the bathroom. So now their daughter, Grace, at the time was unable to say goodbye to her mom because she was off at some fancy school somewhere. So it was very distraught that she didn't get a chance to go attend the funeral or whatever. I don't know what the deal is back. I just got my kid home, I guess. But little Grace always enjoyed having tea in the carriage house of this place. She would always set up tea and just have it with her friends and her little family that came over. And so blah blah blah. So now when this house became public, it says the people that would return the tea, people would take and move the tea set around. Then if they did that, like all the china in the back would fall out of the cabinets and break to the ground. A lot of weird things. They would hear the sobbing again echoing down the hallways of this place. But when they put the tea set back where it was supposed to be, it all allegedly stopped. So upon the passing, now this is where it gets kind of weird. Upon the passing of Whitney's wife, Flora, he married Sarah. Now, Sarah, you guys, I mean, we've all heard of this. I could never do this, but Whitney married Flora's sister, Sarah, several years after his wife died. So he marries his sister, his wife's sister. And so after that, it seems like things really got out of shape and got very more haunted. Some people said they reported encountering spirits, having coughing fits in the mansion. The theory was behind that there was possibly patients from a tuberculosis ward, because there was a time back in the late 1900s where the place was shut down after the family passed, and it was turned into a medical facility before it eventually got repurchased and reopened. So if you fast forward to the 1980s, the Whitney remained a high-end restaurant and was sold to entrepreneur Richard Kuhn, who restored the building to the public so the public could enjoy it, this, that, and the other. The mansion changed hands in 2007 with some executive from Chrysler, and they put in the established Ghost Bar on the 3rd floor, which was the floor where the tea party, the little tea from the young daughter, would always have. And they said now that if you go on the Ghost Bar, many people, including current patrons, a lot of weird things happen, like hands put on their shoulders, cold breath blows in their ear. So this bar replaced the tea area, and now people that go into the Ghost Bar, not all people, but occasionally there are reports of weird, and the bar will get really cold. Maybe hence the blue lighting. I don't know. So that's kind of it. I mean, the book is like 10 pages long, and I don't want to read it. But bottom line is, I guess, I'm wondering if this was haunted. The man goes on, gets married, she dies, marries his sister. Then apparently Flora came back to haunt the house because she's upset that the sister took her spot with the husband, right? So I don't know. It's kind of a jumbled mess to me. I didn't really read that.
I'd haunt him too.
Yeah.
What's that about?
So I'm guessing
that going on while I was alive.
Yeah.
I'd haunt them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess if you're a ghost, you're privy to a lot of conversations that you wouldn't have heard while you were alive.
I'm not kidding when I say I'm going to come back and haunt some people. I got a list.
Well, I guess what I draw from that's probably some bad, you're putting out some bad vibrations in the world to marry your sister, no.
I think that was pretty common back then, to be honest with you. It seems like it was. A lot of those stories are around. But I'd still be PO'd as the deceased wife watching my husband. Get in the coffin. I don't want you to move on if I'm young enough. No, sir. She'd want you to be happy. No, I wouldn't.
Now with the sister, yeah, right. I mean, come on.
Not with my sister.
Yeah, I'm guessing my thoughts out of that was I kind of jumbled it up. I apologize, but I missed some words. But I think that could spread some paranormal activity, especially since the daughter did get a chance to help lay her mom to rest. She was off at some other boarding school. I don't know that those even existed in the 1900s, right? It seems kind of tragic. And then to take out the tea room and replace it with the bar, which is now allegedly haunted, which I did not know when I went way back in the day. In fact, that bar looks different than when I went back in like 2000 or whatever it was. But I don't know. I thought it was interesting.
That's a hell of a story. I mean, It makes me want to go there.
Mhm.
Of course, Donnie would come back as a ghost and fight crime.
Sure you would.
We all know that when Donnie comes back, he's going to come back as a K-pop star. I mean, come on.
He'd haunt. What's that K-pop band that he won't shut up about?
I don't know.
I can't remember. He'd haunt them in a disturbing way, I feel.
Yeah, K-pop kids, or I don't know.
Right. Right.
Isn't it like One Direction or something? I don't know.
One Direction.
No, that's an English band. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking about that story, and I'm like, well, Monica's right, because back in the day, that was commonplace to marry the sister, the cousin. When you get into a well-to-do family or a upstanding family, you kind of want to stay with that to keep your reputation, blah blah blah. It was all about your ego, I want to say. It's like you're upstanding, you know. So I mean, would the dead wife be more upset that he married the sister, or would she be more upset at the sister running her house?
Yeah.
Maybe all of the above.
Yeah.
It could have been. I mean, because I mean, if somebody come in my house, start running my house, and be like, "Oh no, you don't." we're gonna have some words, and you may not like this, but we're gonna.
I mean, just like when you remodel a home, right? If there's anything there, it kicks it up because you're changing what they're used to. You're changing the environment, and
it's like my sister's mother-in-law. You know, when they moved her up here from Corpus, they moved her into our old house, and she came over for coffee one morning or breakfast one morning and said, "I'm packed. I'm going back to Corpus." And they're like, "Wait, what? You know?" She looks at my sister. She goes, "I just had a conversation with your mother over coffee." She made it very clear that this was her house.
All right.
Wow.
That's my point. That's my point.
Hey guys, I'm going to run, but thanks for letting me join you for a while.
Yeah, Brent. Thanks for coming on.
We're getting close to the end, but thanks, Brent, as always. I got to call you tomorrow on something, Brent. I got to discuss with you.
Very good.
I got to schedule part 2 of my show with you.
Yes, you do. I was just talking to Tex about that. Absolutely. We'll be in touch. And anyone else wants to join me, just reach out.
Yeah, because y'all still need to go on his show.
Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, Brent.
Bye, Brent.
Sleep well, my friend.
Check out Brent on the Paranormal Portal. Go check him out. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. He's a pretty cool guy.
It's really cool.
Yes, I like Brent.
I do too.
So yeah, thanks for coming on. That's all I had for tonight. I just kind of slopped that together really quick. I read that article and just read it. I think I screwed up a few parts, but bottom line is, yeah, that's I wouldn't mess with that. Back in the day, that was commonplace. Today, I don't think that would go over very well.
No, it wouldn't go over well at all. But that house was beautiful. You know what I mean? And that was probably her house. That was hers. Hers. And for somebody to take it over, didn't matter who it was. Yeah. Right. I could see where she'd be a little ticked off.
Yeah. Yep. No. And and when you think about it, you really don't know quite what all the circumstances were.
Right. Was there a little bit of something going on before the wife passed away?
I was thinking that perhaps there was an ongoing affair behind the scenes anyway.
Yeah, see? My point. What's up with that?
And I was reading through the book. The one thing that I could not find, you guys, is did they really name how this Flora, the original wife, passed away? Just says that Grace, the daughter, couldn't attend the funeral. But it didn't say that she died of tuberculosis.
Yeah, that should be easy enough to find out. I
didn't bother to look.
Family.
I didn't bother to look it up, but but maybe she died behind nefarious means. Maybe he poisoned her to get rid of her. I don't know.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
It might be worth a look.
Poisoned her in the haunted tea room.
I mean,
Put a little
she's going to come back for all kinds of reasons if she was murdered.
Yeah.
Yes.
And one of them might be like, oh, crap, my sister's in the same situation I'm in. I got to warn her.
Exactly.
Right? That's the flip side of the coin.
As long as it wasn't her sister that did it.
Yeah, it could have been so many directions.
What another twist that is, Tex. Yeah. I can't think of that. I've seen it in movies.
It's the old-timey episode of Snapped.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know where you come up with these things, Monica. I've never seen half the stuff you've watched.
Well, you live in a cave, Rob.
Well, I
don't watch that much TV.
So. I apparently not.
I don't.
Well, even if you send something, even if you share something with Rob, say, "Hey, watch it," he won't watch it.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, probably.
To be fair, I don't either. Most of the time, people send me stuff. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. ask Breezy. He sends me crap all the time. I'm like, yeah. I love you, Joe, but I'm not watching that.
Although, Monica, I will say, when I do have time, I do like your taste in books. I used to be an avid reader.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done that in a long time, though.
Well, I will say this. I've been fighting Monica for a while now, trying to get her to. She talks about, I listen to books all the time on my drive, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, just listen to this one book.
Was it like Anna Darko?
She couldn't remember the name of it like 2 minutes later.
I don't. It's like, okay, so it reminds me of Anna. Is it Anna Darker or something like that? Because it sounds like Donnie Darko to me.
Daisy Darker.
Daisy Darker. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to text it to you like every day.
You're going to have to be like, did you buy it yet? Did you buy it yet? Did you buy it yet? Did you buy it yet?
That's just it. You don't have to. It's free.
Is it free on Audible?
I don't know. It's free on YouTube.
Well, you just told me.
It's free on YouTube.
There ain't nothing free on Audible.
No.
Yeah. Audible. Well, my commute. My commute's over an hour each direction. So Audible is.
See, that works out perfect. Now, I could probably do that. When I used to have to drive any distance, a podcast or I never did a book, but that's a good idea.
I do audiobooks when I'm going to sleep. That's what I go to sleep to. And
that's kind of
a lot of true crime stuff though. I'll put a serial documentary on or something like that. Serial killer documentary.
I do that to go to sleep.
Yeah, me too.
I tried it once, you guys. I tried listening to an audio book while going to bed, but hell, I fell asleep. Maybe I'm listening probably as I'm sleeping, trying to sleep. 20 minutes, 30 minutes roll by. Then you do fall asleep, and then I wake up and I look on the phone, and like 19 chapters were read throughout the night. So it's like kind of a waste. I mean,
Audible has
my battery all night.
If you know you're probably going to fall asleep while you're listening to it, Audible has a timer.
Audible has a timer.
Like 15 minutes, and it'll just shut off after 15 minutes, so you're not.
Yes, it will.
Flying
I
through
just
your.
Pick up wherever I left off, wherever I remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, you start dreaming about it.
Well, that's my intent behind listening to them. That's
the cool part.
Yeah.
It depends on what you're reading.
I've not achieved that yet, but I don't do it too often anyways. Well,
Speaking of books, I was on Facebook Marketplace today, and I ran. I don't know if you saw my post on our Paranormal World page, but this woman in a couple of towns south of me, and I'm always going through Marketplace. She had put up the Lesser Key of Solomon free, and it said free. Just come, get it out of my house. Free, just get it out of my house.
Yeah.
Did you think about it, Monica?
I did. I already have it. I already have that book. But I was like, I'm tempted to just grab that copy anyway.
Just go ahead and grab it. I don't have a copy.
I'd like to read that book.
I'll grab it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'll message her and be like, I'll take it off your hands.
There you go. Yeah, I don't have a copy at all.
Roads are not iced over, but yeah.
Yeah, just tell her to hold it. You'll come get it.
Look at Donnie's comment. Dreams is why I got 50 Shades of Grey on repeat on my Audible.
That doesn't surprise me, Donnie. That does not surprise me.
Not one bit. Not one bit.
Greg Ogle's in the
my
house. That'd be a moist dream, I suppose.
At least damp.
Anyways, that's a keynote. I want to thank Amy for her awesome super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy.
Thanks to everybody for coming on. And thanks to all of you that are subscribers. I hit that 5,000 plateau. That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Also, the ones that have not emailed me that were winners, please do so because we're missing several. So if you won last night on last night's show, email blondesandbooze@gmail.com.
Yep, absolutely. That was a lot of fun. Gave a lot of cool gifts out yesterday. So that was nice. That was good show. Fun show.
Glad you hit your milestone.
Yep.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Thanks. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Got that behind us out of 10,000. That's the next, or 7,500, I guess. I'll meet it halfway. That ain't even halfway, is it? I don't know. But anyways, subscribe to Texas Front Porch if you're new here. The Blondes and the Booze Paranormal Podcast. Monica Rollins, Our Paranormal World. Paranormal Paul, Daniel Diva, and I know I always miss Donnie Cho says stuff. Of course, I can't forget good old Donnie Cho. He talked Hulk Hogan. He talked Hulk Hogan tonight with Tex and Randy.
Yeah, I was there.
Randy.
I was there for a little bit.
Thank you, Josh.
Thanks, Josh. Yeah, I was blowing.
And truth or tinfoil. You always forget truth or tinfoil.
You know,
Paranormal portal.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Brando. Yeah, I do forget it. Paranormal portal. Yes, Monica was on Thursday.
Right.
I think Friday with good old Mr. Turner. I thought you.
I was on last night with Josh.
I thought that was that yesterday. Okay.
Yeah. I dragged Garitano on, so I wouldn't be in the spotlight. Very uncomfortable in the spotlight.
Oh, Monica, you can handle the spotlight.
I can. Usually, I wasn't feeling it last night.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's some days you just don't feel it. That being said,
well, she just felt less than sparkly. That's just what it was.
I was feeling very
I don't know, Monica. You're kind of dolled up. I noticed, though. You did your hair up and everything. I don't know
when.
Yeah, Friday's show. Yeah, like where Monica's stepping from.
It's because I came home from work and didn't immediately strip my face of the makeup. Yeah.
I was giving you a bunch of crap. Anyway, thanks to everybody for coming on in. This is an awesome show. As always, thanks to everybody. And I'm just, wasting time because I got to find
the red button on the top.
It's not, well, I do have to clean this up. I'm such a bad. Okay, here we go. Good night, everybody.
See y'all.
Night.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.